I think my first memory is
probably falling off my bike.
Probably sitting on Wandsworth Common, watching the Queen go past, so that must have been coronation year.
I grew up in Australia, and my earliest memory is helping my father wash his car, and particularly the wheels. I suppose because I couldn't reach the rest of it.
I think my happiest memory is my wedding day.
Probably the birth of my son.
I think it would be with Emily when she was born.
the smell of a pick mix reminding me of my childhood.
The smell of orange blossom. When I was a child, we had an orange blossom tree in our garden.
In my memory box, I placed those 3 bands because they're the birth bands of my 3 children.
I would have my London Marathon medal. It just proves to me that I actually ran it and crossed the finish line.
Car, because I always remember the smile on Emily's face on her 21st birthday when I gave her the keys.
The picture of my wife and I on our engagement day when she's trying to show her engagement ring and failing miserably.
I think I'd like people to remember me as someone who
Didn't do things by halves and someone who lived life to the full.
As a good mother.
Kind and caring.
I'd like to be remembered as a good guy who always did the right thing.
I'd like to be remembered as someone who kept alive the memory of my beautiful daughter who died at the age of 29. And working with and helping Pancreatic Cancer UK is a way of doing that.
I think people should remember Pancreatic Cancer UK in their will because it's a charity that's not funded anywhere near as much as it deserves given the cruelty of the disease.
Every day in my work, I speak with people who have been affected by pancreatic cancer, and I appreciate the value of any donations that are left behind.
I really do believe that research into it will really help improve survival rates, which are incredibly low.
In our will, we'll be remembering Pancreatic Cancer UK because we want money to go into future research. That's vital.
Money is needed for improved treatment, for research, and the Holy Grail, which is ultimately a cure.